Hello, classmates, and a special thanks to my audience for being here today. Hi. Have you ever been speaking with someone and wondered, are they telling the truth or are they lying? For many of us, this is an uncomfortable topic. However, if you spent your life communicating with human beings, you've likely felt this way many times. Joking aside, if we know what verbal and nonverbal indicators of deception are and what they can mean, then many of the myths and misconceptions about these indicators may be removed, allowing us to be more effective communicators. I would like to talk to you today about verbal and nonverbal indicators of deception and how a combination of both can help determine truthfulness. I've always wondered if the many stereotypes or tells that I've heard about gauging deception are true. So, to feed my own curiosity and inform others, I've gathered a wealth of information from the FBI or Federal Bureau of Investigation, then a wide range of experts on human behavior and communication, as well as some scholarly articles to help provide you and me with the most relevant and reliable information. First, I would like to talk with you about verbal indicators of deception and how statement analysis is used to help determine truthfulness. Second, I would like to discuss nonverbal indicators of deception and what to look for with a visual. Third, I will cover how a combination of these two can be used to help determine truthfulness. So, let's begin with what verbal indicators of deception are, besides the obvious, I'm lying or I lie. The principal indicators of deception are lack of consistency in statements and not staying in context of the questions being asked. Further indicators include minimizing statements, longer response times or giving answers, slow rate of speech, and an increase in speech disturbances such as or long pause periods. Giving validation that these behaviors indicate deception, studies were done and experts concluded that deception is a cognitive and complex task that requires more time and thought than telling the truth. More on this, there's evidence that suggests people engaged in cognitive complex tasks take longer to respond or give answers, they slow their speech, and they make more speech disturbances. Experts in statement analysis look for a combination of these behavioral cues to effectively discriminate between truth and deception. Now that we know a bit about verbal indicators of deception, what to look for, and statement analysis, let's move on to our next topic, nonverbal indicators of deception. What to look for, and I will provide a visual aid. There have been many studies done around the globe, and experts agree that facial expressions and emotions are facial expressions of emotion are universal. They're independent of race, ethnicity, nationality, gender, religion, or any other demographic variable. All people express emotion in the exact same way, and these reactions are immediate, automatic, and unconscious. These facial expressions of emotion are the closest thing that humans have to a universal language and can be displayed in fractions of a second. I'd like to give you a visual aid to kind of give you an idea of what these 7 facial expressions are that we all share universally. A little closer. There we go. Sadness, happiness, disgust, fear, contempt, surprise, and anger are our shared facial expressions. These nonverbal indicators of emotion, known as microexpressions, are examined alongside with subtle expressions as multiple behaviors rather than individual behaviors and can help determine truthfulness. However, some of these indicators and others can be misperceived or displayed for reasons other than deception. These behaviors are gaze aversion, trunk or waist movement, self-touching, and shifting. Microexpressions are not indicators of deceptions themselves, but are unconscious reactions that correspond to emotion. With training and experience, micro and subtle facial expressions can be used to help determine truthfulness. Moving on from verbal and nonverbal indicators to our next topic, how verbal and nonverbal indicators of deception are used in combination to help determine truthfulness. In an article published in a FBI law enforcement bulletin, the authors found that a combination of nonverbal leakage and statement analysis correctly classified whether or not 90% of participants in a study lied or told the truth. This research also found that behavioral cues in both verbal statements and nonverbal behaviors collectively provide a much better source for gauging truthfulness. Uh, Experts agree that with training and experience, the recurring relationship between simultaneous and sequential behaviors can be recognized and used effectively to discriminate between truth and deception. However, studies also suggest that no single indicator of lying exists, and that relying on false clues or signs of lying can result in false accusations, conclusions, and can even result in false criminal convictions. Now that you know what what verbal and nonverbal indicators of deception are, what to look for, and how they can be used in combination to help determine truthfulness, use it as a guide or a tool to becoming a better communicator, and try to set aside preconceived ideas of what signs of deception are. I hope that you're now better informed about verbal and nonverbal indicators of deception, as well as uh, have a better understanding of how these indicators are used in combination to help determine truthfulness. Remember that these are merely indicators, and the methods and practices referenced here today are used by law enforcement and behavior analysts who receive extensive training to recognize these indicators. There's no fail-safe when determining truthfulness, and there are a variety of reasons that these indicators of deception can be miscommunicated or misperceived. Uh, I hope you found this information as interesting as I did, and I would like to close by thank you for listening, and I would like to give a special thanks to my audience for sharing their time with me today. And to my audience for sharing their time, good day.